I've got my 32 rows. And now we're gonna make sure we have it going straight. Don't have like any twists like that in there. And you're gonna match it up to the opposite side. So you've got like a loop. You don't need too much of a tail, just enough. I'm gonna go ahead and knot that end. So that's knotted now, tied off. Just double check one more time that there aren't any twists. And just going back and forth like it was a needle. Now before I knot this off, I want to make sure it's not like this ridge bumpiness, so I'm just going to kind of smooth it while I still have the flex because it's not tied off yet. And then, once I like where it's at, I'm going to go ahead and tie it off. And we'll leave that thread to hide later, but you can see how it's now one piece. I'm going to go ahead and, remember we always start on the right side. So this is the right side for this next one. And I'm going to do the same thing, attach on, do 5 single crochet across for 32 rows. I mean, if you wanted a longer handle, you could do longer. It's really an easy place to change size if you want it like an over-the-shoulder type purse instead of a lunchbox purse, whatever. But go ahead and do the same thing for your other strap. So if you don't want it to be a puppy, this is probably a good place to stop. You can see it's just a simple two-toned whatever. You could do the Velcro attachments and be done at that point. But I want a puppy, so we're gonna keep going. All right, we're doing the black eyeball center thingy. Would it really be a pupil? I don't know. Whatever that thing is. I'm gonna go in and we're gonna chain 1, 2, 3, join the loop. Now you've got a nice little loop here. We're going to chain 1. I've undone the end a little here. I like to hide the thread while I'm going. So we're going to go in and move that thread end over with us. And we're going to chain 2 in each space around. So 1, 2. 1, 2. And 1, 2. So not much to that. Go in, tie off, cut, hide thread, all that stuff. We're gonna do that 2 times. Okay, I've got our white yarn now. We're gonna do the bigger part of the eyeball. Starts off the same way. Make a loop, chain 3, join the loop, chain 1, 2 single crochets in each of the spaces, just like the black eyeball. Keep moving that thread over so I hide it so I don't have to deal with it later. Okay, then we're going to join with the loop again, chain 1, and we're going to do 2 in each of the spaces again. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It's really doing the 2. I'm just counting to 12. 5, 6, 2 in each space, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oops, I messed it up. There we go. 11, 12. So once again, that was 2 single crochet in each space. I just counted to 12 because that was easier for me. 1 more row to go. So chain 1, And this time you're going to be putting 2 in each space, and you can count up to 24 because there are 12 spaces if you want. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Tie off the thread, hide it. And you can, little sneak peek here, the black eyeball will sit right in front of the black eyeball will sit right in the middle of the top eyeball. I can't speak, I give up. With the red yarn, we're gonna do the tongue. So I'll make a loop, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Gonna do, skip the first one and then chain 3 single crochet across. So 1, 2, and 3. We're going to chain 1 and turn. And we're going to do this, work 3 single crochet across for 5 rows. So this is the first row. Don't count the first thing that we did. This one right now is the first row. And do that for 4 more rows. Okay, we've got our 5 rows. We're going to chain 1 and turn. We're going to wrap around like we're doing a double crochet, go into this space, but we're only going to work half of the double crochet. So you see we've got 3 on here, 3 loops. We're going to wrap around and only go through 2 of them. And normally you'd wrap around and go again, but we're keeping those on there. So wrap around, go into the next space, grab some thread. At this point you've got 4 loops on there. Wrap around and only go through 2 of them. You can see it's growing here. Wrap around one more time for that 3rd space, grab some thread, go through 2. At this point you've got 4 on there, and you're going to wrap around and go through all of them. And that gives us our rounded tip of the tongue. Go ahead and cut that, tie it off, hide the thread. Okay, this is a thinner yarn, so it might look a little different than my sample I did. I don't know, it might be a little smaller. But I'm going to be working on the snout. So we're going to go ahead and, still with our H crochet hook, chain 4, join the loop. We're going to chain 1 and do 2 single crochet in each of those 4 spaces. I'm raveling the end here so I can hide the yarn. I just don't like hiding threads later. It's annoying. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and the final one, 1, 2. So that's 8 total. Then we're going to join with a slip stitch because we're keeping this in a nice little round. So it's more of an oval than the last one was more of a circle. Okay, we're going to chain 1 and do 2 single crochets in each of those 8 spaces. And then we're going to chain 1 and do 2 single crochets in each of the 16 spaces. So basically doubling it each time. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So double it until you've got 8 and 16, and then in the last round we're just going to do 32 single crochet around. I'll come back for that one. Right, at this point I did the row of 2 single crochet in each of the 8 spaces and 2 single crochet in each of the 16 spaces. So I'm up to 32 going around, and just to get it a little bit bigger without having it get wavy, we're going to go in and just do 1 single crochet in each of those 32 spaces. And then go ahead and cut it and tie it off and hide the thread, and we're moving on to ears. So that's what our snout looks like when it's done. It might be a little bit bigger. This is smaller yarn, but it's still gonna be adorbs. Go ahead and chain 7. We're doing the ears. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're gonna skip that first one when we turn and just do 6 single crochet across. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then we're going to go ahead and chain 1 and turn. And we're going to do 6 single crochet across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that was our first of 19 rows we just did there. We need 19 rows of that 6 single crochet across.